Welcome to First Fridays with the FBI. I'm your host, Monica Tucker. As a citizen, I speak with the FBI on the first Friday of each month to address situational awareness topics and concerns. Our hope is to bridge the gap of disconnect between our citizens, like myself, and law enforcement personnel, like the El Paso Field Office of the FBI. First Fridays with the FBI is a segment for everyone, regardless of age, ethnicity, faith, religion or choice, or socioeconomic status. The show features native El Pasoans and FBI field office representatives. Today's special guest will talk to us about women in the FBI. They are Special Agent Nicole Adams, Staff Operations Specialist and Analyst Kimberly Carrillo, and Recruiter and Special Agent Martha Terrazas. Join me as we welcome them to First Fridays with the FBI.
My name is Nicole Adams. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. I've been with the FBI 26 years, but I've been an agent for 19 years.
My name is Kimberly Carrillo. I'm a staff operations specialist. I'm from El Paso, and I've been with the FBI for going on 14 years.
My name is Martha Terrazas. I'm a special agent with the FBI. I grew up in El Paso, and I have been with the Bureau for 18 years.
Welcome, ladies, to First Fridays with the FBI.
Thank you.
So tell us, what inspired you to become an agent?
I wanted to become an agent when I was 6 years old. I believe it was my mom was watching a Hill Street Blues episode. I am dating myself, but that's where it began. I thought these were the coolest, most professional. Even as a young kid, I knew it was something special about FBI, and that's when the bug sort of hit, and I wanted to join and be one of the greatest.
I happened to apply for a new position. I had just finished my master's, and I wasn't sure what the law enforcement world held. And the FBI had this great new position, staff operations specialist, a fancy way of saying tactical analyst. And I had been a researcher in my previous life, and analyst seemed to fit that role.
I was actually an educator. I was an assistant principal. I was having a career fair for my students, and I had an FBI recruiter who was invited, and he actually planted the seed in my head, and it just ever since then.
So, in what career field or position would you be working if you were not an agent?
I would definitely be a doctor.
I think I'd be working in some way or form with the brain, whether it be neuropsychology or a neurosurgeon.
Education, which is my background. I'd probably for sure be a principal by now, maybe a superintendent.
Oh, so what steps did you take personally to prepare yourself for the challenge of becoming an agent?
What I did, I went to the library. I became very current on current events, like watching the news. And as far as physically, my husband was an agent, so he would come out and run with me. He taught me how to load a magazine. He taught me how to shoot. So that's what I did to prepare.
And I was trying to just learn about what the FBI was while I was in the process of applying, and became familiar with the different aspects of the Bureau.
Running. I had to really prepare when it came to running. I don't have a love of running, but I quickly realized about the physical fitness requirements. So that was my biggest challenge.
So, what would you say is the most rewarding part of your job as an agent?
Personally, I would say my kids think what I do is pretty cool. That's what I think is the most rewarding part, and but also to helping people and putting bad guys in jail. That's very rewarding.
I have to agree. The most rewarding aspect is being able to work an investigation from beginning to end and seeing the fruits of your work and working with your team, because you definitely become very close with your colleagues.
for me, I worked the bulk of my career. I worked violent crimes against children, child exploitation. So that to me that has been the most rewarding. Helping the really vulnerable, having a voice for those who really can't help themselves. So I think that's it for me.
So what would you say that you have learned about yourself, both personally and professionally, since becoming an agent?
Well, I'm gonna answer the same question with the same answer. I'm hardworking. I really am. And sometimes that could be a blessing and a curse, because sometimes you need to sometimes step back from this role, but I really get in the weeds and I really try to do the best for myself and also our community.
Absolutely. Learning that it's okay to say no, and taking a breath is something that I've learned, and I've been doing this for almost 14 years. And it's hard because you know that there are people, as Martha said, you know that you're their voice and you're trying to help solve whatever investigation you're working through. So learning to say no and realizing that it's okay and that we're human.
I think I realized just how strong I am, just how resilient. Just when you think you've seen it all, given what I work, child exploitation, you think you've seen the worst, and then you get another case, and it just made me realize just how strong, mentally and emotionally, I really am.
I was one of those people who had so many myths about the FBI. Sadly to say, I apologize. So tell me, what are some of the myths about being an FBI agent that just aren't true?
I would say one of the things that is not true. Most people think, oh, you have to have a law enforcement background, or you have to be an attorney, and that's not true.
As an analyst, I get asked a lot where we get our fancy screens, like in Minority Report, and it breaks my heart to tell them that no, we don't have that. And also to add another myth is that we're human. We make mistakes. So a two-parter.
So I guess I want to make sure that everyone knows you're not an agent.
Correct.
And you're an analyst,
yes,
which is completely different. So you didn't go through the
rigorous physical fitness. No, but
okay.
But she does go through an academy.
Yes.
She does have a lot of training.
Right.
It's just not
right. It's just different from being an agent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we're lucky. I run because I like to run.
I run because I have to. Because we still have to pass a physical fitness test annually. So.
So what about you? What are some of the myths that just aren't true?
Okay, so you guys, we have a sense of humor. We're funny. We laugh, and we don't walk around in suits all the time. Okay, we're normal, everyday people with a sense of humor. We're not always
serious,
stoic and serious. So
right.
I think that's a huge misconception.
So what about some of the myths about being a woman or female FBI agent? And we'll start with.
Okay. I don't see myself as a female agent. I see myself as a special agent. So to me, I think that's a huge misconception. You don't walk around, in heels doing, girly stuff. You're an agent. You're an agent just like the next guy sitting next to you.
And as an analyst, some of the individuals we have to deal with, they don't realize, or look at you as a female. They're bad guys, and they don't care what you are. And so they're going to talk and say what they're going to say. So for me, I'm very fortunate to work with great colleagues who respect me as Kim, the analyst, and not necessarily as Kim, the female.
And I totally agree with Martha just saying, when we go through, some people may think, oh, well, if you're a woman, you guys must have went through a different type of training than the guys. No, We still got to run. We still got to do the push-ups. We're still doing the academics. We're still doing the shooting, just like our male counterparts. And I don't want to be known as the woman agent. I'm your backbone. I'm your agent. I'm your colleague. So just special agent.
Wow, that's encouraging. Definitely encouraging, and it dispels some of the myths too. So, okay, there. I know there are so many agents here, and I know that there are probably some who probably were like El Paso, Texas, or wherever they are. So, if you could choose your dream location as an agent or analyst, where would it be and why?
Oh my goodness, Florida. I anywhere in Florida. Any of the resident agencies in Florida. I love the sun. I love the water. And Florida has beautiful beaches. Daytona Beach, Florida. Here I come when I retire.
As an analyst, I've been very fortunate, and I actually got to do some overseas work. So I'd say I'd go back to Germany. If the work there was great, the counterparts that we worked with, a lot of individuals don't realize that we do get to travel and get different assignments, but that was a very amazing opportunity, and I've learned so much.
Mine's going to be a two-part. Now, I was in the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, for 4 years, and actually 2 of my kids were born in the Virgin Islands. So, the most beautiful beaches in the world. I would, and the craziest thing, I don't like sand, but I know that may sound weird, but I love the beach. I love the blue skies. I love the sun. So I would definitely do the Virgin Islands. However, they do drive on the opposite side of the road, so that gets kind of freaky in a way. But my true answer is Hawaii. Again, for the same purposes: the beach, the water, the weather, and the culture.
Okay.
It's gorgeous, but
I've never been.
You've never been? Oh my God.
I'm a one night.
It's like $12 a gallon of milk. And I'm like,
Yeah, my brother lives in Hawaii, so it is different, but yeah.
But the island life and just be like,
Yeah.
you wake up to that every day, imagine.
Yeah, the beach fun.
Yeah.
So maybe for my 50th, I'll do Hawaii 5-0.
There you
There
go.
you go. There you go. Good for you.
So, explain what you would like young girls and women to know and understand about becoming an agent or even just working for the FBI, because we want to get rid of that myth too about you can only be an agent, and what they should and shouldn't be doing as youth if they would like to eventually pursue a career with the FBI.
Okay, me first. So definitely every single decision they make will make a difference in their life. Every decision. Education, stick to education, because if you ever want to be an agent, you're going to need a degree. The myth that Nicole said, you don't need a criminal justice degree. As a matter of fact, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, law, all of those, any of those degrees. Your finances, that's very important too. I know nowadays we all, need a little help. Maybe you get student loans. Just make sure you stay current on all of that. And your criminal record. Guard that. Guard your decisions and guard your actions. And you should be okay.
Yeah. So I guess all of you agree with that, huh?
Absolutely. It's very important for them to realize that in this day and age, as we're doing this wonderful podcast, that you have to realize that social media is just as evil as it can be positive, and you have to be very mindful about what you're posting, who's posting about you, who has access to you. It's very important because it's so easy. There is no way that we could survive in this day and age without having access to that. Or maybe there are individuals who can, but you have to realize that, just as Martha was saying, that you have to guard every decision. Be conscious of that. You may be very good about protecting yourself and what you post, but that doesn't mean that someone else isn't taking pictures or watching you do something that could be interpreted incorrectly. So just be mindful of that. We're young, we want to have fun, but your whole life doesn't have to be posted.
That's true.
keep a little privacy, just a little bit.
Amen. And what I would add to that, be mindful of the company you keep. Know that you're surrounding yourself with good people, because bad decisions can prevent you from being in the FBI. And one of the things I will tell people, don't give in to self-doubt or naysayers who say you can't do this occupation, because you will run up against some people say, FBI, they're not going to hire you. And once you get that moment of self-doubt, you won't pursue a dream job that you may have wanted ever since you were a kid like me. So just continue to be positive and trust your gut.
Okay. So now, what efforts do you think can be taken to encourage and inspire more women to become FBI agents? Like, I guess maybe even within the organization and, on the outside, like preparing women to even consider that field, even if it's in school.
You know what? Plant that seed early, and start thinking about it early, and let them know. We tell them, you could be a doctor, you could be an attorney, you could be a nurse, you could be an FBI agent. You have the power to be. And I know it sounds cliche, okay? I know it does, but honestly, you have the power to be anything. An FBI agent it's another career. It's a big commitment, and it's an amazing opportunity. And what we need to do is just expose that as early as we can, and let them know you can be an FBI agent, just like you can be a firefighter, just like you can be an attorney, just like you can be a teacher. It's got to be up there in the you can be an FBI agent.
Absolutely. It's with technology at your fingertips. Go on to the websites, do a little reading, try to see if there's something that does interest you. I've loved my career with the FBI, but maybe there would have been a different path had I had access to other information. But definitely develop that. Ask questions. Look up your local office and see if there's a recruiter you can speak to. Ask mom and dad to make that phone call if you're not sure you want to reach out. Kids being 12, 13, 14, they may not know what FBI world entails. So lean on your parents and lean on your community.
And one of the things I will say, and I know Martha's doing a great job in our offices and just FBI as a whole, what we need to do is start going out to the community, not just for career day, but almost on a regular basis. So like you say, plant the seed early. So when we walk into a 4th grade class and we're speaking to the little people, the young people, they'll know like, hey, that is a possibility, and not just coming infrequently.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think, and of course, I know community partnerships can help too, just to spread the word. And I'm a witness. I would have never guessed they were a part of the FBI.
And you know what, Monica? Getting out there, we coach Little League. We belong to associations. We have kids. We go to basketball games. We go to concerts. We are just members of the community, your community, our community.
Just regular everyday people.
Regular everyday people.
Right. So get rid of the mixed people.
Yes. Yes.
These ladies are proof. So how do you balance self-improvement, family, career, and social life?
It is a tough balance, but you have to, I agree with my colleague, sometimes you have to just tell people no. And what I do occasionally, not all the times, now I do have 4 kids, but when they were a little bit younger, I would balance it by taking one of them out of school. Now we have a treat day, individual. So they have their special time with mom. I also do girl trips with my sisters. I also take vacations with my family. And sadly to say, I don't do enough leisurely reading, and that's on my to-do list to start, getting some me time. My leisurely reading consists of 302s. That's they get it. They get it. That's a whole nother. I'm like, what?
Documentation.
Yeah.
It's documentation.
Lots of work reading.
Okay.
For me, it's trying to leave the office at the end of the day. And it's a balance of things. Depending on how great our weather is, you may find me in the backyard gardening. The boyfriend plays a very big role in my life, and so does my family. They keep me balanced. Mom reminds me that I have to be human. My sister, who also works with the FBI, is very good at reminding me to step back and take a breath. So I need to start taking a little more me days, but I'm conscious of it. And whether it's reading a book, watching Netflix, gardening, walking the dog, you name it, right? We're human. Walking away from work sometimes is the best thing we can do for the case and for ourselves.
Absolutely. So I love to read. My family is a big family, so we make it a point to take a big family trip every year in the summer. Everybody, sisters, brother, nephews, mom, boyfriends. We make it a point to take one big trip every year. But I love to exercise. I love to read. But traveling is my passion. So that's how we maintain balance.
And once again, see, as you can see, there everyday people who leave the job at the job.
Yes.
But it's hard.
I know
Just
it's
like
I know it's
every
hard.
single one of us outside of FBI.
Yes.
It's hard.
And you know what? Throughout my career, because my son is older already, but when he was young, I didn't miss a PTA meeting. I didn't miss a basketball game. I didn't miss any of his activities. I was there to take pictures when they went to prom, and all of those milestones that you're not going to be able to get back. And so you just have to remind yourself and have priorities and learn to balance all of that. And I think as women we're good about balancing. We're good about multitasking.
Yes.
And so that is important to not forget yourself in the grand scheme of things.
Right. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Wow, in 5 years I will be retired. That's my goal anyway, and I will be traveling. That's all my kids will be out of the house then. I'll be empty nester, and that is my goal. And hopefully, probably starting a nonprofit for kids.
Wow, that's good.
In 5 years, I hope to be closer to retirement. I have a plan in motion that I'm working towards because there are other passions that I have. And so I would like to do an even 20 to 25 years with the Bureau, and then work additional passions that I have, because I think we have a lot to offer.
Retired Monica. And hopefully living in Florida or wherever my son is, because I'm the kind of mom that I'm going to want to have a part in his life. I'm going to, God willing, God gives him, children, and God gives me grandchildren, and I will be that grandma. That
I can understand
takes
that.
care of, the kids, and steals them for the weekend, and all of that good stuff.
Right.
You're
And
right.
keeping an eye
Yes.
on your adult children at the same time.
Sorry, God willing.
Yes. So, what is the one place on Earth, or where's the one place on Earth you would like to visit? Not the same as where you would like to be,
Right.
I'm saying station because military, not station.
Right.
but where's the one place on Earth you would like to visit?
Nairobi, Kenya. I am I'm a lover of animals. I've been on a safari in West Africa. Now I want to go to East Africa.
Wow. Okay.
Malta. That is one place that is on my top bucket list. Malta. That is where I need to be.
That's right.
So there is a beach in Australia. First of all, Australia. I would love to visit Australia. I've heard it from many people. I had a friend who was a travel agent who said, I've been able to go everywhere. She goes, and Australia is the most beautiful place.
Right.
And there's a beach in Australia. It's Whitehaven Beach. It's supposed to be one of the top 3 most beautiful beaches in the world. So yes, Australia it is. That's where that's my next.
Okay. I want to visit Australia too. Maybe I shouldn't give into the myths of all those little creatures that I see the videos, and I'm just like,
Those are the stories you come
Let's
back
go
with.
So in your spare time, what can you be found doing?
With me, I love murder mysteries, so you probably catch me with wine and Dateline.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And Snap.
Forensic Files. Right?
I don't know.
Snap.
Yeah.
You know what's
That
funny?
is my
My
show.
son tells me, Mom, you do that every day. Why? Watch that all the time. I'm like, I love it. I love, like, it's him. It's
him.
her. He did it. She did it. He climbed the window. He jumped up there. You know,
I think it keeps your investigative skills sharp. But even if I wasn't an agent, I just like the programs.
Yes.
I like the who done it, and that's what I like to do in my spare time.
It's so fun because it does give you a different perspective on what you're doing, right? And you're like, I wonder if that's very plausible in real world here. For me, it varies. Like I said, gardening or walking the dog or getting my run on. I like to shop. I'm a shopper too. So, I mean, it just varies from day to day. Depends on, how well I've done in savings. Then I'm allowed to treat myself to something fun. If you saw my shoe closet.
Oh my goodness, yes. I'm a shopper too. I love to shop. And you know what? At least you have limits. Me, I'm like, I work hard, I deserve this. That's sneaky though. I love it. I'm like,
and spoiling others.
Yeah. Yes. I love reading. I love watching, watching TV, watching movies, going to the movies, spending time with my friends, with my family, with my son, visiting my son who's in San Diego. So I love San Diego. Yeah. So anytime I can steal a little trip, I do. So traveling, reading.
I'm not the one who loves shopping, so if I could, I'd hire a personal shopper for every single thing.
So where can we start?
I will. Yes, I have cousins, and they live out of the country. Some of them, even other states. But my cousins that live in Mexico City, and they'll call me. And they're like, "We're gonna be there. We're gonna be there for about a week. Would you go shopping with us?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, I can go." And they have their list, and they're like, "I want this. I want," and I'm like. Done. And I'm like morning to noon. I need to nighttime. I can do it.
I started a new little thing for myself where I have a couple friends who attend events, and they don't always have that attire in their closet. So I'm like, let's go. Let's do it. And I have been very lucky, and I think not because I picked out the outfit, but because they just look great in so many different pieces. So anytime, call us, Monica.
And you know what, Monica? I love a bargain. I love a good buy. Let me tell you, I love to shop when I'm out of town, when I travel. Yeah. Because it's different. You're not going to walk into a meeting, or you're not going to walk into the office and there's going to be 3 people wearing
it's the same thing.
Or the same top or whatever. So I love to shop.
Well, bless you all. I'm that one who will sit in the car.
Yes, you're me. Yeah. I like to look nice. I don't like to shop. I don't even like trying on clothes. So I stick to certain, like I love White House, Black House. So
I do styles.
I know what the size is, so I don't have to try it on.
Smart.
Oh my God, you're amazing.
No. Not me.
Not me.
Bring me everything.
I want to make sure I like it.
Yes. And then I'm taking it home and I'm making sure I like how it really looks.
Yes.
That's too much work. Okay. What are you currently reading?
Right now, I've just been. What's going on in the world right now? We all know with the Ukraine and Russia. Haven't been reading a lot, but I have been watching a lot of TVs, a lot of the CNN, the news organizations. So, like I said earlier, I do need to get back into reading, but right now, I'm just more watching what's on the news.
I actually just started a book. A friend of mine suggested I read The Dueling Tale of Two Neurosurgeons, and it's kind of the evolution of it's great. It's great because she knows how passionate I am about the brain, and it brings neurology and psychology together, and the history of doctors, and so very, very much science oriented. But I'm also reading the history of El Paso and trying to educate myself a little bit more on our city, our town. So I'm eclectic when it comes to reading.
Nice.
little more boring. I am reading a book. It's called The Wrong Family. Taryn Fisher is an amazing author. She just mystery and drama, you know, all that good stuff. But also, I have a really good friend. People Magazine. She is every week she looks forward to her People Magazine. So she started handing me her, you know, she's done reading it and you know, she hands it to me and I'm like, man, keeping up with the gossip, you know, with all that. And it's like, okay, yeah, I can balance that. So yeah, in between my The Wrong Family, my Taryn Fisher book, People Magazine.
Okay. Well, just from looking at you all, I know you guys enjoy. I mean, you seem like the type that somebody would say, "You guys, it's Friday, let's go kick it," or something. So that means I know you love music. So what's on your musical playlist?
What's on my musical playlist? Now, when I'm running, I love Jada Kiss. I love Jay-Z. And when I'm really hyped, you gotta give me 50 cents. Now, when I want to wrap it down, give me a little bit of Anita Baker and Will Sade.
Okay.
Mine is very eclectic, and it's usually based off of my Shazam Spotify playlist, whatever I hear on the radio and I need to remember to download. So it's anywhere from Dean Martin to Ice Cube to Michael Bublé, Alejandro Fernandez. I'm all over the board, and sometimes the girls at the office will ask me to put a little music on because they know I'm so all over the place. So you'll be very surprised when you come home and I have a corrido while I'm mopping.
Oh my God, yes.
So it varies.
Same here, Monica. I will have anywhere from Lil Wayne to Post Malone to Los Tigres del Norte. I will listen to reggaeton. I will listen to Christian music. I love me some Mercy Me.
Yes.
I love country. Just a little bit of everything. Hip hop and rock. Some YouTube. Some just a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yes.
Yes. So you guys are going to have a musical jam eventually over there at the office.
Yes. Absolutely.
Well, tell us, here in El Paso, tell us one place you believe everyone should visit while here, whether it's a museum, a park, or something.
I went walking with my family and our fur baby, Jill, in the Franklin Mountains. I thought that was exhilarating. I thought it was beautiful backdrop. And actually, the hike was a little challenging. So it gave me everything I needed. So definitely Franklin Mountains.
I'd say the El Paso Rose Garden. Little hidden gem by Memorial Park that I stumbled across when my sister was doing her Mighty Mujer triathlon. I happened to park in front of this place that I didn't know what it was. And so once she finished and was exhausted, I was like, hey, how about we go in here? And she's looking at me like, what? And, you know, I'm grateful that she put up with me for those 15 minutes because I didn't want to keep her too long because I knew she was exhausted. But that rose garden is beautiful and it's so different from El Paso.
Atypical of El Paso.
Yes.
So definitely Trans Mountain. There is some beautiful trails and our mountains are so beautiful, especially when it's rained a little bit and they're green. They're beautiful. There's a waterfall up there, Cottonwood Springs. So Trans Mountain and definitely Scenic Drive.
Yes.
Scenic Drive is such a beautiful view of our city and downtown and our sister city. You can see Mexico from there. So definitely Trans Mountain and definitely Scenic Drive.
Okay,
and the Rose Garden.
Yes. Yes.
So I guess even those who are from here may not have visited, you know, all those key locations. So,
and you know, I was when I was an administrator, I was an assistant principal at what is that school? It's right across from the Crockett. Crockett Elementary is catty corner to the Rose Garden.
Yes.
So it's
it's beautiful.
Beautiful little.
And I think it's just about to open up. They're about to open it up. So
okay. Well, you know what? We've been in the middle of a pandemic. So if anything, what have you learned or realized about yourself or your life since the start of this pandemic?
I learned that I didn't have a lot of patience. But I've learned to work on that. And I also learned that I need to be more patient, especially as the pandemic was going on. I was getting calls from just, family, and I realized they were going through some mental health challenges. So what I needed to do was be more empathetic, listen. And I said, you know what? Because at first when they called, I'm like, what you call it? I'm just being honest. But now that I realize some people really going through it, I was like, Nicole, this is something that was unheard of. So I just trying to be having more of a listening ear for people.
For me, I feel like the pandemic really brought out that paranoia in me, and even right now going through allergies, you're still trying to decipher, what you're feeling, what is going on, and so trying to not close myself off from everybody, because that paranoia definitely took up an extra notch, and it took the family, the boyfriend, to be like, hey, let's take a breath. It's okay, and so working through all of that communication and that reassurance was necessary for me. And I think my poor fur baby was like, Mom, what's wrong with you? Why are you spraying me with Lysol? So it's been reined in.
Reel it in.
Reel it in.
I learned how resilient, not just I could be, but we as a people, how resilient we can be, and how adaptable we can be. We adapted. I mean, we were in quarantine, and I know people, were panicking and buying, all the toilet paper out, right? Why toilet paper? I don't know. But I realized just how quick we are to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it wasn't lightning fast, but we adapted. We have adapted. And we are just a very resilient people. That's what I learned.
Oh, good. So before we go, because we're going to wrap up in a minute, but in using your own words, or just, like a quote of your own, share something, like some words of encouragement to fellow agents and fellow, analysts and U.S. citizens during this time.
I would say one of my quotes, or self-quote: let's love one another. Enough of the hate.
Recently, I watched something and they said, hope is just waiting for someone else to take action. And that kind of resonated a little bit, because I feel sometimes we do wait, for someone else to take the lead at times. Mm-hmm. And so for myself, moving forward, I want to be a little bit more driven to say or do something, and make that change, right? Not wait for others.
So mine's not a quote, because I have a quote, and I can give you a quote. But to me is, do something as big or as small as it is every single day that makes you happy. Mm-hmm. Anything. It can be shopping. Smell a flower. Yeah, go shopping. And you don't have to buy yourself, something huge. If you're a shopper, go and get something small. But if that's what makes you happy, do something that makes you happy every day, big or small. Just something. Remember that. Remember that too. To go out of your way and say, I'm doing this because it's making me happy. This is not just one thing. Okay, you can do a lot, but definitely do one thing that makes you happy every day.
Wow, awesome. I'm encouraged.
And you remember my quote, right? And it's actually the Nike quote. It's not just do it. Is yesterday you said tomorrow. Just do it.
Absolutely.
And that is a beautiful quote too, because how many times are we on the couch and it's like, I don't want to throw a load of laundry. And it's something as simple as that. Yeah. Just do it. Just do it.
Because we are, I think what it is, and I totally agree with that. You don't realize how little time we have on this earth. Mm-hmm. And you know how you will probably feel if you said, I was going to call that person and you didn't do it and something happened. You would feel probably awful.
Yeah, and you guys do it. We say it all the time. We're like, we don't know how long, but we don't. Yeah. Just like with our kids, we say this all the time. And now that he's an adult, and I was looking at his baby pictures, but you said, you know what, take advantage of every day. They grow up so fast, and don't take it for granted. And you know, they're only babies for so long, and take advantage of the time, and it goes by fast. Oh my God, you don't realize how fast it goes. So to those people who have babies and have little ones and have newborns, or are soon to be parents, don't take that for granted. It goes fast, you guys. It really, really does.
Yeah. And if you have something in mind, you know, or you have somebody that you haven't spoken to and feel kind of weird about sending a random text or a call, do it. You never know
Send a joke.
when. Yes, my dad jokes. You know, just send a text, a hello, because that might be something that they may be needing, and there's a reason why you're being pushed to reach out. So don't, you know, don't take advantage of the time we have. Use it.
Very encouraging. So speaking of encouraging, why do you believe it is important for the FBI to acknowledge and celebrate women in the Bureau? Right, yeah, Bureau.
Well, I think it's important because, you know, when July comes, it'll be 50 years since the FBI has, I guess, pretty much hired or recruited an FBI special agent. 50 years. I think we bring so much to the table. Not just intelligence, not just respect, not just dignity, fidelity, bravery, and integrity. And I think we are one of the best co-workers and colleagues that anyone can have. So it's important for women to be in this organization and many other organizations and not taken for granted.
Echoing everything that Nicole said, I agree with that. And it's important to let the young girls of today know that you don't have to go for one specific avenue. You have opportunities. Look at us. You know, we all came from very different paths, and our family, our personal life has played a big role in this. And I think that helps me be a better analyst every day with my coworkers and colleagues, even if it's the one individual who's always going to tell me, no, we can't do that. You got to, you know, keep pushing, keep encouraging.
So for me, as an organization, the FBI, we want to be representative of our community, right? How can we be representative of our community without females? So it's important. It's important to celebrate us. It's important to encourage other women, you know, to come and join our organization. We need more women. We need women in the FBI. But because we also want to represent our communities, and we can't do it. We can't do it without women.
No.
So I think that's huge.
Right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share?
The other thing I would like to share, take a look at our website. Come join us. And if you don't want to be an FBI, that's fine too. But like I say, don't take this moment for granted. If there's something that you're passionate about and you want to pursue it, like Nike, just do it.
Yeah. Or if you have questions, reach out, call. We're here for you. We're not here to be the bad guy. We're here to lend a helping hand as best we can. We're normal. We're everyday people.
I think a lot of people think that the FBI is just FBI agents. And I truly believe this, okay? There is a place for everybody in the FBI.
Absolutely.
We have mechanics, we have analysts, we have evidence technicians, we have so many, we have pilots, we have
Linguists.
Linguists, we have so many positions within the FBI. I can truly tell you there's a place for everybody in the FBI.
Thank you so much for participating in this and helping us celebrate Women's History Month. And we know that you women have made history.
It was our pleasure.
And I think that history includes showing other women, young girls in the community that they can do this. Absolutely. So this is an open invitation.
It's an open invitation.
Absolutely.